Hi, I'm Kari.
And I'm Sion.
And I'm Matt.
Crystal's not here. I'm Lubin, and we're the Vietnam War. We started making the record about 18 months ago, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, about that.
It's been a while in the making.
Yeah, and a lot of the songs, maybe half the songs on it, come from longer ago than that. So the oldest songs are 5 or 6 years old, but the newest one or two we wrote during the recording almost, like very shortly before it was finished.
Where did you record?
Yeah.
We recorded it right here, where you're sitting. The drums were just there, where the stereo is. Lubin was playing guitar and singing in the kitchen behind that door. I had my guitar set up here. Or was it there?
Somewhere around here.
It was around here somewhere.
All on the
happened in
lounge.
here. Yeah.
So, like over a period of a year, you just kept on setting up in here, and
No, that was over the period of about 2 or 3 weeks. We recorded all of that and then
Tracked all the drums.
tracked all the drums and then spent a few weeks doing the guitars.
Mm.
And then it took a long time to mix it because of financial resources, and life gets in the way.
Vocals took a long time. Vocals were a few months really, because we were doing it in odd times. Whenever Carl had the time to do it, he's quite busy on stuff that pays his rent. So that was quite a long time, and it was quite elaborate actually. Lots of takes.
It's good to get it right though. It's good to be happy with it. So.
So Round Trip Mars, they're releasing the record for us, and we first met Jim when he got the album, before we even got the album, off Angus McNaughton, who mastered the record. And he was meeting with Carl on a different project for Tourette's, and Carl mentioned that we hadn't got anyone to release it yet. And so Jim put himself forward and sort of fell in love with the record, and approached us.
I remember Jim telling me that he was surprised. He thought you guys were already signed.
Yeah, that's cool, eh? That's a cool story. So he thought that this is going to be great, and what he said was, wish I had a record like this, and then turns out you can if you want. Oh yeah. No, good.
Are you sort of like? Is there any sort of like? I mean, I guess it's not traditionally stuff that you might expect to be on Round Trip Mars. Did that sort of worry you initially?
No.
Yeah, no.
There's no one else like us really. So
He really sort of got what we were trying to do with the record and loved it probably more than we did at that point. And we'd listened to it a lot, and it had been sort of work in progress for so long. And then he was these fresh ears who understood it and enjoyed what we enjoy about it. And so it was pretty much like, he's the guy to release the record. It was pretty much a given from then.
I think as well, he I don't think he meant to sign, he signed a bunch of new acts this year, and I don't think he really meant to do it, and so there was a moment, I think, for him where he was just going to run with it, he didn't, it's like, I've got these new acts and I'm going to put out 3 more records than I thought I was going to, or something, so he had this kind of elated sort of, but not more than you can chew, kind of a enthusiasm that was really great at the time, which was, kind of the opposite to how we were feeling. I thought we were going to have to put it out ourselves, and then not knowing anything about it, it just felt like it was day one over again of a whole new project of selling the record. So very glad that didn't happen. Thank you, Jim.
I have to ask about this bedazzled top you're wearing, sir.
It's nice, isn't it?
I think it's beautiful.
Just let us know where you got that from.
Sorry?
Did you make that yourself?
No. It was a gift.
we haven't played for a while. We've had a bit of a hiatus, what with finishing the album and getting all the I's dotted and the T's crossed, and so we've just started playing live again, and it feels like we're stronger than we ever were. Sort of got a new kind of sound that we've worked out. More electric guitars, more sonic.
Yeah, that's right. It's louder. Crystal, I've kind of stopped playing guitar so much. Crystal's playing electric, and it's I'm really enjoying it. It feels like a whole new sort of era of live performance from us. I think that the live shows we've only done a few, but I think they've been really good, really happening.
The reason why I thought we were called the Vietnam War, because it was funny. It would be funny because there's a lot of folk musicians from the 60s that would say, when asked about their influences, they'd say, well, the Vietnam War is a big influence on my music. And that would be quite funny because then, you know, we would be the influences. And I always thought it was like a joke like that.
Yeah, include yourself in a whole lot of biographies, you know, after the fact.
But then later on it turns out that's not the reason.
That was totally the reason. But also it was, I didn't want to have I didn't want to be associated with kind of American values and the movement of, and the kind of Americana movement, which sounds bad because that's not, I'm not anti any of these artists, but I really felt like there was a sort of begged a question for me that you couldn't, you know, we were not going to pretend to be American or endorse any of that stuff. And I feel like there's a tradition of that as well. Like I think, you know, Graham and all those guys did that as well. And so initially, when we were a more country band, I wanted it to be a country band that wasn't an Americana country band or an American only, because you know there's a certain set of values I think that go along with, or can go along with, at least with traditional country.
And I guess traditional country comes from that sort of,
yeah,
you know, beginning. So.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, this is probably too long, but I feel like there's another history to it as well. You know, which is, and that the kind of that becoming really conservative happened at some point. But if you look at kind of the original sort of side of it and a continuing sort of tradition through it, there's another one, you know, which is a lot more about fantasy in a way. Like, you know, lots of those guys, well, kind of none of them were cowboys, right? They all pretty much came from cities, and and from all over the place, but sort of with a common. Just a sort of an aesthetic code in a way, which they developed, and that's sort of all of that kind of redneck and Christian stuff, and I think that got attached to it at some point.
Yeah. Well, I guess the thing with country is that the guys who you'd sort of point out as being our influences, they were sort of the rebels of their time.
Yeah, that's
right.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the guys that were breaking with the traditions.
Mm-hmm.
But now they are the ones that everyone who's in that mainstream calls their influence as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
This is a painting that Crystal gave to me and my wife, Louisa, for a gift, and then, you know, it's square, it's kind of basically record-sized, and so I think that to me it kind of looks like LP sleeve anyway, and beautiful painting that became the artwork. This actually glows in the dark, but too expensive for printing. Maybe later, limited edition.
Yeah, limited edition for real.
And when you get to press some vinyl copies of it. Maybe.
Yeah, that's right. It looks good big.
So when's the album out?
4th of July, which is the birthday of America.
American Independence Day.
Yeah, that's right. Which is a wonderful coincidence.
Was that chosen on purpose, or was it just coincidental?
I think it's a real coincidence. I think that was just one of the dates that it could have been. Maybe Jim chose it out of a number of them. I think that it appeals to him.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.